everybody, welcome back for another tutorial video. Today, as you might have guessed from the title, we are working with stretch bracelets. So we're going to just show you how easy it is, and once you know a few tips and tricks, you can really do lots of different things and lots of different patterns with them. We've got tons of different kits available for you on our website. If you're interested, you're welcome to check it out. Alright, so when you purchase one of our kits, it will have a cover photo that'll show you how to make the pattern, and then inside is everything that you need to make the bracelet. The only thing that's not included is your big eye needle and your glue. Okay, so let's go ahead and get started. So right when I dump the kit out, you want to be careful and make sure you don't let your beads roll away, because you do need everything that's included in the kit. If you're doing a child size or something, you can always take some of the pattern out to make it smaller. Feel free to adjust it if you want to modify it and make something totally different. Just keep in mind the total length. You can't change it too much if you are a standard size adult, because if you take out a bunch of things, it's going to be a lot shorter. If you add a lot, it's going to be a lot longer. So just keep all of those things in mind. So according to my picture, we've got a drop in the middle, and it dangles from the little rings here. And then we have little gold etched balls and then gold rhinestones, and then all the white is in the back. So what we're going to do, there's also a 2-foot piece of cord included in your bag. And I'm just going to show you. This cord is very different than like the traditional like Stretch Magic and things that other people use. This is actually a fibrous cord. It has hundreds and hundreds of different strands, and I'll show you. Let's see. Okay, can you see that one little one there? That is probably still like 8 or 10 pieces that are woven together. So this one piece has hundreds of strands that are all woven together, and we're actually going to double it. So this is going to be really, really strong and last you a good long time. So what you're going to do is take your needle and open it up. Put the string in through the middle of the needle and pull it down until the tails are even. Okay, and then you're going to use your little bead stopper to keep your beads from falling off on the end. So basically what this is, it's a little spring. It has little Mickey Mouse ears on each side. Squeeze them together and the spring opens up. You're going to lay your cord down between the slots. Doesn't matter if they're in the same one or different ones, that's fine. Just don't try to stick it in from one end, because it's never going to come out the other side. So just lay it in there. Make sure it's kind of towards the back a little bit. Let it go and give it a good little tug. Make sure that's still on there, so that way you don't lose anything. Okay, so needle on the cord with the bead stopper on the end, about 2 inches or so from the end. And then at that point, all you're going to do is string. So I strongly suggest look at your beads before you get started and find what has the largest hole in it, so that way you're more likely to get your knot to hide inside of it. So for me, it's going to be these crystals. So I'm going to go ahead and string up all my white crystals real quick. And then I'm going to do my pattern in the front, because it is going to make a full circle when I get done. So it doesn't matter where in this pattern I start, as long as the pattern is in the correct order, it will all work out just fine. And this needle is sharp on both sides, so be careful not to stab yourself if you're working with kids or anything. There is an ultrafine needle that you can use for this, and it's kind of like a twisted version. It still has a large eye, but it's only on one end, and it's not quite as pokey. You're welcome to use that if you want to, whatever you need, just so that you can get a needle on this thread without having to thread the tiny eye of a needle. These big eye needles are great for that. Okay, so I strung on my white. I am also going to go ahead and put my flower on the little jump rings at this point. So I'm going to use 2 pairs of flats and put the seam towards the top. Open them up. Put my flower on one and close. And when we're doing dangles on our bracelets, we recommend that you do 2 jump rings, so that way it has enough room for a little movement and doesn't get kind of stuck up in funny positions while you're doing it. And if you're doing one of our kits with little flowers, you may need to just kind of fluff it a little bit, just to make it nice and fluffy. Super cute. Okay, so for the front part of my pattern, I had the rhinestone, the little gold edged ball, the flower, and I'm going to go through the top ring of what I just put on there, the other gold etched ball, and the other rhinestone spacer. And then just slide all of that on. Okay, looks great. Our bracelet kits are between 7 and 7¼ inches, so that's pretty standard. If you want something larger or smaller, feel free to modify them as much as you want to. It would be really easy on pretty much everything that we've offered just to kind of stick like another clear in here or stick something between them around the pattern, whatever you like. There's lots of ways you can do that. Okay, so let's go ahead and get into the closing part. So we have 2 tails here, and all I did was I took a pair of scissors and I cut the stretch cord close to the needle. I did not actually cut the needle because we want to be able to use that next time. So you're just going to cut the cord. I've got a little piece in here. If you take and just pull it down, it will release, and this bit is trash, obviously. And then if you take and just stick your needle into the mat somewhere, you'll be sure that you don't lose it, as it won't fall on the floor or blend in with the wood table or the couch or anything like that. And then you're going to take off your bead stopper, so just squeeze those little Mickey Mouse ears together and pull the string out the side. And you're going to stretch it a little bit and just push your beads together. Okay. You don't want any slack in the middle. And what we're going to do is we're going to start tying our knot. So the first one, you're going to cross it just like shoestrings. So over, under, and kind of pull it just a little bit, just like tying shoes. That doesn't accomplish much, so we're going to do another one. Over, under, and just pull it. And I kind of bounce it a little bit just to get some of that slack out. So those 2 ties made 1 knot. We're going to do 1 more tie to make a double knot. Okay, give it a good little bounce. Make sure you get all that slack out of there. Looks good. Okay, so now we're going to glue. So we talked earlier about how this is a fibrous cord. This glue is very liquid based. It's not a gel based. And so it's going to soak right into those fibers, just like if you spilled it on your fabric shirt or something. It's going to just wick right into this knot. So what we're going to do, can you see how I'm holding it? You need to spread the beads away so that way your glue doesn't run down and get in your beads. And I'm actually going to use the mat to kind of tip it over so that way if I drip, it's going to drip on the mat and not onto my beads. They're way over here out of the way. So this glue is really, really intense, way more than super glue. So if you get it on something, you need to be very, very careful. Try not to make a mess. It uses way less than you ever think that it would. I just cut the top off because this is a brand new bottle. And all you're going to do, you can see it's very liquidy in there. Okay, you're just going to tip it over, and can you see how it's doming out? That's way more than enough. Do not let a whole drop come down on here. That's enough for like 5 or 6 bracelets. You do not need that much. All you're going to do is let it dome out the middle just a little bit and then touch it to the knot. And can you see there's excess in there? I'm actually going to put the bottle underneath and soak it back up in the bottle. And that's plenty. And then I'm going to take a pair of wire cutters. You are going to get glue on your wire cutters. So you may want to designate 1 pair of cutters just to doing stretch bracelets if you're going to do a lot of these. Or if you want, you can use scissors and just use like some cheap like little kid scissors or something. But I just kind of designate 1 pair just for this project. And then I don't have to worry about it so much. And then so I've got this little knot. I trimmed it as close as I could to the knot, but do not cut the knot in half or then we'll be starting over. Take your bead, and I kind of have it pulled a little taut so that way the knot is a little smaller, and slide it into whatever was your largest hole. And ideally, it would fit right in there. So now we've got a really good finished stretch bracelet. It's totally done. You can wear it right now. You don't have to wait for it to dry. It's really quick drying, and we actually warranty these for a year, and we never have problems with it. So I really trust this method, and hopefully you got some good tips out of this one. If you have any questions about anything, feel free to message us. We will have links for everything down in the description that you can purchase if you want to. And yeah, that's pretty much it. So have fun with your bracelets. Bye.